Coming up in
I just want to know what you're
Genshin
still doing
Impact.
here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Nope.
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Oh, it's about to stab him.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me, creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Never mind.
So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Paimon, we have to stop him.
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
I don't even know what these two are arguing about.
Well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Again, I still don't know what they're talking about.
Did one of them just mention Tatara Suna? But that's all the way in Inazuma. Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here is just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to research pretty much anything.
Alright, still, let's go in.
Great! Let's go find out what this Tatara Suna mystery is all about.
Oof. Alright guys, what's going on? The Archon quest starts now.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know
No one saw
about.
that. Okay, from what they say about her, this seems to only be a kind of a thing that he'd know about. Which one is it? Him or her? Can someone please tell me? Did they get it wrong? Primo Gems, 1.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Doesn't believe us.
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
See, he doesn't believe us.
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are
I've
kind of
noticed.
lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about
But-
Tatara Suna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn
Buddy,
more.
we haven't been in that place in like a couple months, man.
Ah,
Sorry,
I
can't help
see.
you this time.
My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
That what?
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive or a first read?
To be honest, I don't want to read it. I really don't. I don't care.
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki-mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kinda fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went
I'm
missing
gonna be honest,
too.
guys. I totally spaced out. I have no idea. I have no idea what just happened. I just kept pushing X. I was letting it play out, push X. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest.
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans
No,
of
please
Inazuma?
explain it to me.
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
There's more.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the
Yeah,
point.
oh my
for
god,
Pete's
get to
sake.
the point, please.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
The Shogun puppet that the Electro Archon made, shit, I don't... The Kabikamono has to be the Balladeer, but what was he doing 400 years ago in Tataratsuma? I don't know.
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
Keep your mouth shut. Shut up.
No! Paimon just meant, how creepy! The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost
Honestly,
story.
I was terrified.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please!
I'm not reading that at all, guys. If you guys want to read that, you're gonna have to play this part yourself.
Oh, and please read
Oh my
my essay
goodness.
draft as well.
Nah.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Alright guys, for my first initial reactions to this, I have never been more tempted just to spam the X button right now. I'm letting it play out, but I'm not hooked on it right now, if you guys can tell.
Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Yeah, it sounds more like a novel.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
I don't know, man.
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess.
I'll leave
Give me
you
some
to
time.
it.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the Balladeer,
Yes.
doesn't it? Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it
Pretty
with
much.
him, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super
We
confidential,
kicked his ass
isn't
after
it?
he turned to a transformer. But you know, we win. We move on.
If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
Casually just walks right past us. What's wrong?
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and...
Well-
Traveler, Paimon, there you
Hello?
are.
How you doing? It's been a while.
Nahida, bad news. We just saw the Balladeer strolling around in public.
He's just to the left of her right now, dude.
Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
I just noticed that with the light right now, it makes me look green. I'm like the Hulk right now.
Sure enough, you're here.
That evil look in his eyes.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in
You
your
turned
own
him into your
soul
slave. Got it.
A deal? You sure you
Yep.
trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about.
No, buddy. I don't want a repeat of La Senora.
But if that's the case, why haven't you
This
done
game
it
is
already?
PG-13, that's why.
Don't flatter yourself. It was...
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were
Nope.
just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
I like his attitude. Kind of reminded me a little bit of my pure sarcasm.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal.
even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of
Guys,
time.
she learned that this is not a reality, it's just a game. She learned that she's in a mobile game.
The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious
In summary,
position.
to refrain what she just said, basically saying he's so weak that we could just bitch him around.
Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Wait a second. Former? You mean
He's been
he's not a
replaced.
Harbinger anymore?
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
So he tossed you out like trash.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
He doesn't care. Really? What a crying shame.
Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not
Yeah,
join
man, be
forces
best
with
buddies.
us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you
Yeah, man.
serious about this?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your
me?
benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin
Oh,
in
yeah.
Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So you
Yeah,
have
man,
an update
I
on
kind of
that?
want to know who these descenders are. I know we're one of them, but I want to know who the other ones are. Apparently, since our sister's not one of them.
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him.
Can't
He
you
can
connect
still
though?
connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able
What
to
if he
find
lies
it
to
more
you?
quickly.
Then we kick his ass like we did last time.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every
Think
time
of
we
casual
run into him!
flashbacks of him hitting his head down on the floor.
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all.
Food?
Our minds have connected several times before. There's a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero.
I think she got it wrong. We're the first stage of Wooer. That's the only title I want to hear now.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Got it.
Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you
What
into
are you gonna talk to
Irminsul.
him about? Be like, hey, remember me? I went on a date with your mom.
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared
Doesn't
to
look all
last
run down
time.
anymore.
The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter
Then
Irminsul
he just sent me
ahead
to
of you.
babysit you. Babysitting duty.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a
We're
little.
getting him upset.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety
Understood.
as anything else.
Fine, let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together
Travel
after
buddies.
all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
Yeah, that's gonna sound fun.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we
You know
get
what he
going.
reminds me of? It's a little bit like off topic, but when I competed for track and field, I used to have a friend who was both a rival. Like he was like a close friend of mine, but we were also rivals at the same time. He reminds me exactly like him. I mean, not exactly like him. I didn't try to kill him, but you know, you get the point.
Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Always arguing back and forth.
Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
There's no need for all the biting sarcasm.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling?
About to enter SAO.
Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
Sorry guys, I might sound a little bit insane talking to myself. Or you guys.
Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the
Following you,
heart
man.
of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
I look like a smurf.
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What would happen?
We'd get lost forever.
What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to
Wanna
stick
hold my hand
close
while
to
you're at
me.
it? Guess that's a test. Oh, they knew, wait. They knew that we tried to leave. That's why they blocked it off. Alright, man, following you.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch
Yeah,
them.
man, following you. They're not gonna let us leave. But I do want to touch them down. Really badly.
It looks the same in every direction.
Continue exploring.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
you.
We're here.
What a huge tree!
What are we gonna do? This is the center of Irminsul. All the information in the world is flowing through it.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay
Yep.
alive.
Kicked his ass last time. First, Aquaba and Sawada stories. Now this. What a strange individual.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure
Got
to
it.
share it with us.
We'll do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Sure. Nahida, is this a telepathic conversation?
Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join.
Yeah, we got the new Tesla chips in our mind, that's why.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
I'm guessing that you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Are we bestest buddies?
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to
Kinda
what you
reminds me
say.
of me. I'll talk back. But then I'll listen to say, especially if you're my mom. Yes, and he seems to excel at doing odd jobs for others.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Hopefully. Is it about his past, the betrayals, and the other events in Inazuma?
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
Why, thank you. Actually, I caught a glimpse of a few things when I ran into Hypatia at the Partis DI. One of those two. Or it could just be completely all wrong. You read. Ouch. I'm not even gonna try reading that.
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
He got his heart broken.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. That shit was a lie, apparently.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Yep.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
You tell Nahida about the story of Aquaba and Sawada are writing.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
Oh, they were actually. Oh, yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to what they were saying.
So the Gese got it right?
Yes.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not
Sorry,
involved.
buddy. This is a need-to-know basis, and you do not need to know.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
This is a conversation between A and B, and you need to see your way out. Yo, it feels kind of good to say this stuff to my parents.
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said
You have
conversation.
every right to keep certain things confidential.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing
Yeah,
too
man.
much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Well, apparently only one of us have come from outside the world. Apparently, our sister, or our twin, whatever boy, girl, whichever one you picked, is one of us is from here, and the other one is from outside the world. Maybe we're clones, you know?
Wait, how did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things
Every
about you.
conversation with you is hard work, but your attitude is better than I thought.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can
Damn
manage.
cordial conversation, huh?
Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
I don't know.
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You
Maybe
have
it's
to
about her
share it
sister,
with us.
boy, girl, twin, whichever one you picked. I don't know.
Shh.
You shush.
Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
To what? That name, Niwa, was a man in charge of the Tataratsuna, plus he belongs to the lineage of the ancient art.
Whoa!
You jumped inside the furnace? Somebody applaud your commitment.
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow.
Man, because I was tired a little bit, I thought you said it could safely disposing crystal meth. Oh my god.
The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
It has been my honor to talk to you for these 60 seconds.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do
What
you
could
mean?
possibly mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do.
Go on, continue.
None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher?
This man doesn't
Nothing
care.
does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
Yeah, those are the evil eyes right there. But that's the grand plan.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Isn't Fontaine next, so we're gonna go? I wanna go there.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my
Yo, guys,
craft.
to be honest, the first reason I started playing this game is because of the Power Archon. It's like God of War, and Kratos came to my mind. I know it's not gonna happen.
Enough,
But
Escher.
a person can wish. A man can dream.
I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to
Nope.
trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Nope.
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Oh, it's about to stab him.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
Drops dead on the floor. Predicted.
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all.
Never mind, I thought it was from Fontaine.
And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatara Suna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Is he the doctor? The old man version of him? Hold up. Now I'm confused too.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Is that supposed to be one of the friends that's supposed to betray him?
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the
See,
Doctor.
I got it right. That's the old man version of him.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Yeah, pretty much.
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
I don't know, man. Buddy, you okay? You seem like you've seen some better days.
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
Buddy, I don't think you're doing good. Oh. Never mind.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa. Already dead. What a pity.
So sad.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Oh, damn. Alright.
Hey, are you alright?
No, I don't think so.
Dottore. Dottore!
My man's gone insane.
Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from
I'm
Fontaine?
afraid so.
But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Grumpy man now. This betrayal was a lie that he has believed for hundreds of years. The betrayal has never happened. It existed only in his imagination. But where does this leave him?
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Okay, let's go over there.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
We're gonna be like 10 feet away from him.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked
I don't
up?
know.
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday, so now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabukimono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future.
A little tough, man.
Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject.
Sorry, buddy.
After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants.
Oh. Damn, made him look evil. Just ripped out his heart, went just ripped that sucker off, huh?
The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Being betrayed and abandoned by a close friend is sure to cause great resentment. Now we know that was what was behind his decision to take revenge on Raiden Gakugan 800 years ago. Man, my English sucked at the moment. But it doesn't mean that vengeance was the right decision.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dotori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
A while later.
Shall we see how he's doing?
Buddy, you alright, my man?
You alright?
That's smug ass look, man. We're trying to feel bad for you.
That's a scary expression.
He's gone off the deep end.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
We just want to make sure that this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here.
Doesn't really look like it so far.
But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of
So
Teyvat.
then, how are we gonna figure out who the other ones are, man? I kind of want to know. You got me intrigued, huh?
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Yes. No, never mind. Not expected, but still thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might
Thanks,
interest
man.
you.
Looks like we're gonna become real best friends, huh?
Huh? About what?
I don't know.
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
Hey.
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time.
The Jester and no other Fatui Harbinger.
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I was not interested in this story in the beginning, but we're all interested in now.
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
That smile on his face. Smug ass look.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for
Shit.
me.
My bad, he caught us. I'm sorry, man. We went on a date with your mom. I didn't look. It was just a casual thing, a one and done type thing. My bad. It was just part of a quest. That sounds even worse. That's my mission.
Give me your hand.
He's about to get some beating.
Can you hear my voice inside your head?
Good. The frown's turning a little bit upside down. Are you trying to brainwash me?
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
I don't know. Why would you ask that?
Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Because we wanted to.
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping
Ain't nothing
me.
wrong with a bit of bros holding hands. Wait, that look. Did he see me hesitate? But was it because I know about Greater Lord Bukadevada? Uh-oh, never mind.
So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Paimon, we have to stop him.
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
But we know who he is.
Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are.
Huh.
But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and
Time
for all.
travel.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow.
It's like a Captain America moment, you know? The end of Endgame.
Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can
Yep.
you hear me?
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
You tell Nishida everything that happened.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
He went above and beyond.
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry,
My bad, we
Nihida.
weren't the best babysitters.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it.
Oh, I hope you
We're
can do
running
well.
out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.